Hi, and welcome to another episode of A Word on Prayer. We want to consider today the necessity of coming before God's throne of grace in complete submission to God and to His will. We've been looking at Hebrews chapter 4, verse 16, where we are told, "Let us therefore come boldly unto the throne of grace, that we may obtain mercy and find grace to help in time of need." What we need to never forget is that it is a throne to which we come when we pray. God's throne is a place of absolute power, authority, and wisdom. So we must come in prayer with a posture of complete submission to our sovereign God. When we pray, we dare not presume to instruct God. Remember what Paul said in Romans chapter 11, verse 34, "For who has known the mind of the Lord, or who has been his counselor?" We may lay our petitions before our God and say, "This is my desire," but we must hasten to add, "I am but of dust, I am mere flesh, and my motives may be carnal." This is to submit to divine wisdom when we pray before the throne of the all-wise God. When we think rightly, we realize that we don't have a right to dictate to the throne. We should not for a moment presume that we may sit in the place of our great King. Rather, we bow in complete submission to Him who is rightly Lord of all. This does not mean that we are forbidden to plead our case earnestly and repeatedly in prayer. No, we're invited to come freely before God in prayer. What it does mean, however, is that we condition our petitions with submission to the will of the Almighty. We must say, "Not my will, but thine be done." If I ask anything amiss, anything that is not in accordance with your will, O Lord, my greatest desire is that you would be kind and not grant my petition. You see, in our fallenness, we may ask things of God that should He give them to us, it would be to our detriment. We do not know what is best for us, but our good and gracious God does. We know not what tomorrow will bring, but our beneficent King does. Indeed, if we are discerning, there are times when we can look back over our lives and realize that some of God's greatest mercies come to us in the form of unanswered prayer. Remember Paul's thorn in the flesh? He petitioned God 3 times to take this thorn away that was causing him such great discomfort. God responded to the apostle this way. He said, "Paul, my grace is sufficient for you, for my strength is made perfect in weakness." Basically, God told him, "I'm not going to grant your request. I'm not going to take away this thing that is causing you difficulty." Do you recall Paul's response? Paul submitted himself, and he said, "Most gladly, therefore, will I rather glory in my infirmities, that the power of Christ may rest upon me." 2 Corinthians 12, verses 7 through 10. So Paul bowed in complete submission to the divine will and wisdom. So come to the throne in prayer, but come in complete submission to the will of your all-wise, beneficent King. He always, always knows what is best for us. May God bless you. Thank you for tuning in.